Hey Midnights! We hope you enjoy our stories. Next one, Mirrors and the Mystical, Reflections through Mythology, Spirits, and the Underworld. Don't forget to subscribe. Throughout history, mirrors have captivated the human imagination, not merely as polished tools of reflection, but as enigmatic objects that seem to shimmer and ripple at the very boundary between the tangible and the unseen. Their pervasive presence in mythology, ancient folklore, esoteric religious practice, and chilling spiritual storytelling is no mere coincidence. It emerges from a profound, almost primordial psychological and symbolic resonance. Mirrors are not just passive reflectors of light and form, they seem to possess an inherent, almost sentient quality, containing hidden depths capable of revealing not only fleeting physical appearances but also profound spiritual truths, deceptive illusions, and even facilitating whispers of contact with unseen dimensions. Across the tapestry of cultures and centuries, humanity has invariably associated mirrors with the supernatural, with the spectral dance of ghosts, the subtle emanations of spirits, and the cold, unfathomable depths of the underworld, because of their uncanny ability to reflect not just the ephemeral body but the eternal soul, to pierce through the veil of normalcy and reveal what is hidden, and to act as potential, shimmering portals to other, more ethereal realms. At the very core of this rich and often unsettling symbolic tapestry is the fundamental human experience of self-recognition. To gaze into a mirror and meet one's own eyes is a singular, often disquieting event in the continuum of consciousness. It is simultaneously comforting in its familiarity and profoundly uncanny in its perfection, a flawless reproduction of the self that somehow feels subtly alien, a doppelganger trapped within the glass. This moment of reflection initiates a cascade of profound, existential questions that echo in the silent chambers of the mind. Who am I, truly? Is that truly me, or merely a fleeting image? Or is it a copy, a shadow self, a phantom double existing in a parallel plane? Because the reflection is both perfectly rendered and nearly reversed, it hints at an alternate self, one who bears our exact likeness but seems to inhabit a world just beyond the fragile membrane of reach. This inherent strangeness, this profound paradox of intimate familiarity and unsettling difference, lays the ancient foundation for the mirror's enduring mythic and spiritual significance. It transforms the mirror into a liminal object, a threshold, a shimmering gateway suspended precariously between here and there, between the vibrant tapestry of life and the stark quiet of death, between the solid ground of reality and the elusive mists of illusion. Ancient mythologies around the world have meticulously encoded these profound, often unsettling ideas within their most cherished stories and potent symbols. In the timeless theater of Greek mythology, the tragic tale of Narcissus offers a chilling, crystalline warning. Captivated by his own perfect reflection in the glassy stillness of a sun-dappled pool, he falls desperately, irrevocably in love with an illusion and ultimately perishes, consumed by the unattainable image he can never truly possess. While often interpreted as a straightforward critique of human vanity, the deeper, more unsettling lesson is one of absolute, debilitating obsession with an unreal self, an entrancement with the mirror that utterly blinds one to the vibrant, tactile realities of the world. Elsewhere, in the ancient and profound traditions of Egyptian, Chinese, and Japanese cultures, mirrors were regarded not as mere decorative objects or simple functional tools but as intensely spiritually potent instruments. Ancient Egyptians, with their profound reverence for the afterlife, meticulously buried polished bronze and copper mirrors in tombs, believing they served as vital navigational aids, reflecting celestial light and guiding the soul through the intricate labyrinths of the duat. In Japan, the revered Yata no Kagami, a sacred mirror of profound antiquity, stands as one of the three imperial regalia, representing not just wisdom and honesty, but embodying a divine, revelatory object said to reflect the true, unblemished heart of a person, revealing inner truth rather than outward facade. Spiritual traditions across the globe often treat mirrors with an unsettling blend of reverence, awe, and profound caution. In the syncretic mysteries of Haitian Vodou, mirrors are not merely adornments but crucial focal points within elaborate altars, used specifically to reflect the palpable presence of Loa, spirits, and to facilitate profound, often intense communication between the tangible material world and the vast, shimmering expanse of the invisible realm. In Western folklore, particularly in the somber wake of death, a widespread and deeply ingrained practice involved covering mirrors in the deceased's home to prevent the soul of the departed from becoming disoriented, confused, or tragically ensnared within the reflective surface. This eerie practice finds echoes in ancient Jewish mourning rituals and persists even today in some conservative Catholic and Orthodox Christian households, albeit with varying interpretations. The chilling idea that a reflective surface might capture, ensnare, or even absorb a disembodied soul taps into the ancient, Primal belief that mirrors do far more than passively reflect, they actively interact with, and perhaps even influence, the very fabric of the metaphysical. This idea of interaction goes chillingly further. Many ancient and modern traditions, both esoteric and superstitious, firmly believe that mirrors can serve as bona fide portals to other dimensions. The underworld or the nebulous spirit realm is not necessarily envisioned as a dark, subterranean place, but rather as a realm parallel to our own, veiled from ordinary human sight yet subtly, chillingly ever-present. The mirror, with its mysterious, impenetrable depth and uncanny capacity to mimic reality with unsettling fidelity, becomes a symbolic, often dangerous entrance to that shadow world. The pervasive superstition that breaking a mirror brings 7 years of agonizing bad luck, for example, may derive from the deep-seated, ancient belief that such an act damages the delicate, often precarious connection between this world and the next, shattering a spiritual boundary and unleashing chaos and malevolence into the mundane. These profound beliefs are by no means confined to dusty antiquity. Modern folklore, both urban and rural, is replete with chilling tales of haunted mirrors and disturbing supernatural legends. One of the most enduring, whispered in hushed tones at slumber parties, is the chilling tale of Bloody Mary, where chanting her name 13 times in front of a darkened mirror is said to summon a vengeful, often grotesque spirit. Rooted in much older, more innocent divination rituals practiced by young women hoping to glimpse the face of their future husband, this ritual has grotesquely evolved into a popular, yet genuinely terrifying, ghost game. At the infamous Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, an ornate, heavily gilded 19th-century mirror is believed to hold the trapped, tormented souls of Sarah Woodruff and her children, who died tragically on the property. Legend claims their spirits were caught within the glass after a terrified servant failed to cover it following their violent deaths, and countless visitors have reported witnessing mysterious, spectral handprints appearing from within the glass, along with fleeting, ghostly figures flickering within its depths. Another frequently referenced, deeply unsettling case is the reputedly haunted mirror at the historic Driskill Hotel in Austin, Texas. Guests in certain rooms have reported inexplicable cold spots, overwhelming feelings of being watched by an unseen presence, and chilling, fleeting glimpses of a little girl's face, thought to be the tormented spirit of a child who tragically died in the hotel. In more recent years, a so-called dark mirror owned by the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal has garnered intense, often morbid, attention. This particular black scrying mirror, reportedly purchased from a shadowy estate sale, is said to induce profoundly disturbing visions, overwhelming feelings of dread, and even tangible physical symptoms like acute nausea and dizziness when individuals gaze into its depths for extended periods. Though skeptics vehemently argue that a combination of poor lighting, powerful psychological suggestion, and cognitive priming fully explains these unsettling effects, many users adamantly insist the mirror channels something undeniably, chillingly unexplained. The sheer persistence and pervasive nature of these chilling tales, coupled with the vividness of personal accounts, irresistibly invites deeper questions about their underlying psychological underpinnings. Why do human beings remain so profoundly susceptible to the primal fear and unsettling allure of mirrors? Scientific research provides intriguing, albeit often uncomfortable, insight into this enduring mystery. Italian psychologist Giovanni Caputo conducted a groundbreaking, yet simple, experiment in which participants were asked to stare intently at their own reflections in a dimly lit mirror for several minutes, often in near silence. The results were startlingly consistent and deeply unsettling. A vast majority reported experiencing vivid facial distortions, the grotesque appearance of other, unfamiliar faces superimposed over their own, and powerful sensations of an unseen, often malevolent, presence sharing the room. This effect, now chillingly termed the strange face illusion, arises from a combination of neural fatigue, the brain becoming overwhelmed by constant, unchanging visual input, and the brain's inherent, hardwired tendency to fill in missing or ambiguous information, often drawing from deep-seated emotional memory, primal fears, or learned associations. Essentially, under these specific conditions, the brain begins to spontaneously hallucinate, suggesting that many supposed encounters with spirits or entities in mirrors may be internally generated, psychologically induced phenomena rather than definitive external supernatural occurrences. This fascinating phenomenon is intrinsically related to pareidolia, the human brain's deeply ingrained, perhaps even evolutionarily advantageous, tendency to see meaningful patterns, especially human faces, in random or ambiguous stimuli. It's the very same cognitive mechanism that compels us to discern whimsical figures in shifting clouds or haunting faces in wisps of smoke. In conditions of low light, coupled with high emotional suggestibility, mirrors become extraordinarily ripe canvases for such unsettling projections. Furthermore, cultural priming plays an undeniably significant role. If an individual has been repeatedly told, implicitly or explicitly, that a specific mirror is haunted or inherently dangerous, they are demonstrably much more likely to interpret any fleeting flicker of light, subtle shadow, or minor visual anomaly as a concrete, definitive supernatural event. Suggestion, especially when reinforced by expectation and belief, profoundly enhances perception, particularly in ambiguous or unnerving conditions. Despite the pervasive persistence of haunted mirror lore, and the undeniable vividness of personal accounts, rigorous scientific investigations have consistently found no empirical, verifiable proof of spirits, disembodied souls, or otherworldly energies existing within or definitively emerging from mirrors. Numerous meticulously designed studies conducted by both parapsychologists and skeptical researchers have employed an arsenal of sophisticated tools, including electromagnetic field detectors, advanced thermal imaging cameras, sensitive sound recording devices, and precise motion sensors, to monitor alleged haunted mirrors. While investigators occasionally record minor anomalies, such as transient, unexplained EMF readings, unexpected noise patterns, or subtle temperature fluctuations, these isolated findings have never withstood rigorous scrutiny, consistent replication in controlled environments, or definitive control testing. The vast majority of these observed anomalies have been attributed to mundane environmental factors, the inherent human tendency toward expectation and confirmation bias, or the powerful psychological phenomenon of autosuggestion. Nevertheless, the mirror continues to serve as a kind of enigmatic Rorschach test for the supernatural. Its smooth, silent surface and impenetrable depth allow people to project their deepest fears, their most fervent hopes, and their wildest desires onto its cold, unyielding face. While science has yet to confirm, and indeed largely refutes, the spiritual or supernatural powers of mirrors, it has profoundly illuminated why we are so compellingly drawn to believe in them, why the tantalizing, unsettling idea of another world existing just behind the glass continues to captivate and haunt our collective psyche. Religious traditions, too, offer profoundly layered interpretations that have significantly shaped these enduring cultural associations. In the rich tapestry of Christian theology, mirrors frequently represent partial vision and profound moral introspection. St. Paul's famous, often quoted line in 1 Corinthians, "For now we see through a glass," darkly suggests that human beings, in their earthly existence, perceive spiritual truth only dimly, imperfectly, like a distorted reflection in a flawed, smoke-darkened mirror, and that only in the direct, unmediated presence of the divine will they finally see with absolute clarity and complete understanding. Mirrors, in this context, thus symbolize a state of spiritual blindness or the arduous, often painful, search for higher, enlightened understanding. They are also inextricably linked to the concept of vanity, particularly in medieval Christian teachings, which consistently caution believers against being seduced by superficial appearances and the seductive allure of the physical self. In the intricate, shimmering world of Islamic mysticism, mirrors symbolize the polished, purified soul, capable of reflecting divine light with absolute clarity and precision. Sufi poets, most notably the transcendent Rumi, eloquently described the human heart as a mirror that must be diligently cleaned of the dust and grime of ego, illusion, and worldly attachment in order to truly reflect the perfect, unblemished image of God. This profound concept underscores the paramount value of self-purification and profound inward reflection, where the mirror is not a literal, physical object but a powerful, transformative metaphor for spiritual readiness and a purified state of being. In some Islamic cultures, mirrors are purposefully covered after a death to avoid any potential spiritual interference or unwanted distractions during a period of intense mourning and spiritual transition. Hinduism, with its vast and ancient philosophical underpinnings, connects mirrors to the profound concept of Maya, or illusion, and to the eternal quest for self-knowledge. The world itself is often seen as a cosmic mirror reflecting one's accumulated karma, and it is only through diligent spiritual practice and profound introspection that one can hope to see beyond these deceptive surface reflections to the deeper, immutable truths of existence. Ritualistic uses of mirrors in puja, worship, often involve reflecting deities as a symbolic, internalizing way of absorbing their divine presence. Like the mind itself, the mirror must be kept meticulously clean to function correctly. It must not be clouded by the distortions of ego, the relentless pull of desire, or the incessant clamor of distraction. In Buddhism, particularly within the serene and disciplined framework of Zen thought, the mind is often likened to a flawless mirror, clear, pure, and utterly free of attachment. The ultimate goal of spiritual practice is to diligently remove the accumulated dust of illusion and delusion that clouds the mirror of consciousness, thereby revealing its inherent luminosity. Reality itself is often compared to a reflection, impermanent, transient, and utterly without independent, lasting substance. Mirrors, therefore, become powerful symbols not of vanity or danger, but of profound enlightenment, perfect clarity, and the ultimate realization of emptiness. In Judaism, while mirrors have a more modest and less overt ceremonial role, they are nonetheless deeply meaningful. They are sometimes subtly associated with the ethical imperative of rigorous self-examination and the profound spiritual virtue of humility. During the intense mourning period of Shiva, mirrors are traditionally covered, not primarily out of fear of spirits, but rather to actively discourage vanity and to emphasize a period of profound introspection, raw grief, and spiritual reflection. In this context, the mirror becomes a symbolic boundary, not just between self and external appearance, but between the transient, physical world and the profound, eternal realm of the next. Taken together, the recurring, almost universal appearance of mirrors across such a vast and diverse spectrum of religious, psychological, and cultural traditions speaks to a profound, enduring human preoccupation, an almost primal fascination with their enigmatic nature. The mirror, in its essence, is an object of both stark truth and profound illusion, a smooth surface that simultaneously reveals and conceals, a silent gateway suspended precariously between the known and the utterly mysterious. Whether it is meticulously used in ancient ritual, whispered about in fearful folklore, or rigorously studied in the sterile confines of a laboratory, the mirror remains an eternal, captivating paradox. It silently shows us what is undeniably there, yet hauntingly suggests what might lie tantalizingly, terrifyingly beyond. Crucially, it must be reiterated that scientific study has not, and indeed cannot, validate the supernatural claims surrounding mirrors. No rigorous, peer-reviewed empirical evidence supports the existence of spirits, disembodied souls, or otherworldly energies that definitively interact with or emanate from reflective surfaces. Yet this very lack of scientific confirmation has demonstrably not diminished the profound cultural or emotional power of mirror folklore. On the contrary, the enduring, unresolved mystery only serves to enhance its potent, almost hypnotic hold on the human imagination. Because while science offers elegant, rational explanations for the optical and psychological phenomena associated with mirrors, the mirrors themselves continue to provoke a deeper, more primal wonder. They challenge us to face ourselves honestly, to confront our own internal fears and biases, and to bravely consider the chilling, exhilarating possibility that what we see with our physical eyes is not, by any means, all there is. Their true, enduring power is not merely in their faithful reflection of the external world but in the profound, often unsettling, way they reflect our deepest hopes, our most primal fears, and our most enduring, timeless stories. Whether one chooses to believe in the spectral dance of ghosts or the comforting grace of gods, the cold logic of science or the boundless expanse of the soul, the mirror patiently holds up its silent, enigmatic surface and invites us, compels us, to look deeper, not only into its shimmering depths, but into the profound, mysterious depths of ourselves.